So it's 6:21 on the 21st, and I didn't do that on purpose at all. And man, I was last night I had the craziest dream. I think I had one. I don't even know. This one dream though was really long, man, and it was so real. It was like I was really there, and it was so crazy. Because in this dream, my granddaughter, which she's older than this now, and I've got several granddaughters, but this one, she was 13, and we were, seems like we were at my dad's, but my dad's been dead like 10 years or something, and maybe even 12 years, but we were, this whole long weird thing was going, and she was pregnant by my dad, and it was like so disturbing. And I was so mad at my daughter for letting her be around my dad. It was the weirdest thing. It was so strange. I don't even know where it came from. And it kept going and going and going. It was so long. So I was like, it was disturbing. It's like, man, that's what I'm saying is like, I feel almost like there's like some interference, like being bombarded with like weird things to kind of get me down or something, like something that is trying to keep the energy in my life as being a real downer, which right now I feel like that. I feel like, I don't know, they keep talking about this energy that's so extreme, and we got all of this uh these solar flashes and whatnot. I got that. The allergies. That so we got all these crazy solar flashes, and I don't even know, CMEs and all sorts of stuff going on. And so then it's causing issues with all of us or whatever. And which I kind of feel like maybe is why I was like so sore yesterday. Like right now, I don't feel so sore like that. Like yesterday, it was like, oh my God, everything was hurting. And then later in the evening, my lymph nodes got really swollen. And so it had to do with something. It had to do with my lymph nodes and stuff. And all this crap. Because there is like, no matter what, there is crap we're breathing in. And I mean, some people are like, you're eating a lot of it, drinking a lot of it. So it's like we're consuming a lot of crap. And I definitely keep having this weird headache, this weird allergies, and but it's this energy, this like anxiety or something. It makes you feel super anxious. Like I keep getting these really, really intense waves of like this anxiety, just like that dream being such an anxiety dream, so weird. And so now having this I'm just all of a sudden fell. So weird. Everything is so weird. Because I wasn't even touching it. It was nothing I touched. I don't know why it would fall. So that's even last night when I was going to bed, or last time I was going to bed, the dogs did the same thing. They all start like this whole weird shuffle. It's like, what is going on? Which yesterday also, it was weird because Stella went out in the other room and peed, which she never pees in the house at all. And so then I was like, oh my God, it was like giving me such anxiety. Like, oh my God, has she got dementia now? Like, what is going on? And no, she didn't have a UTI because I already took her urine in and stuff. She's almost completed the antibiotics, but she still has this scent. And, which makes me nervous that it's the CA, which I was thinking maybe I should just order some more horse paste and just do that again, because I thought that the CHDX was doing something, but I don't know. I just want to get to the med beds. And then I was sitting there this morning thinking, well, I just want to get to the med beds. I wish they would hurry up, and it was like making me frustrated. But then I have to remind myself, like, it's written in the stars, what's meant to be is meant to be. It's out of my control. It doesn't matter when the med bed, it's all in alignment the way it's supposed to be. And however it plays out is the way it's supposed to play out. And then I started stressing so much about if she was going to leave me. And I started like kicking my own ass over, like, I should have just paid at the cabin. I should have just stayed there. She was so happy there. And she loved it there. And it was like her home. And, but I've got to go through the things that weren't perfect. Got to keep remembering there were a lot of things that weren't perfect. But then, you know, we went and we stayed in the garage, and they had a yard that was like the size of a car. And then, and that was her favorite thing. Like at the cabin, we had a big yard. It was all fenced. She had the whole lay of the land. She would just lay out there. It was like her territory. And I feel like I've kind of robbed her of that. And then we were there, and then here we still only have like a small yard right here. And then we have the river, but it's kind of like winter and cold, and I need to get it more situated. Like it needs to be kind of warmer because that the mud clay stuff she gets on her is like this silt, and it smells really strong like fish, and it's so hard to get off. I'll sit there trying to wash her to get it off. I need to get the hose and be able to hose her down, but it's like way too cold. So so it seems like, yeah, in a few months that we'll get a lot more use out of the river. But right now, and it's like, I don't know. I just like thinking, man, if I wish, I don't know. It's like you can't just wish, you know, I wish I would have done something different. I wish I would have done something different. But it's definitely like reevaluating my stuff, and then you have to put it in perspective. But it does make me feel like, oh man, you're always going to be challenged by your choices. Some have tougher consequences, but you're always going to be challenged by your choices. And so anyways, yeah, mine are challenging me, because if she were to go, then it's like, I wish I would have let her live her rest of her life out or somewhere where she was really happy, not all this. But in her life, we moved a bunch of times until we got to the cabin. And then the cabin was our home for 6 years, and then left that because I didn't want to support bankers in this system. And it was like not aligning with my integrity. It was like I couldn't, it was like, you know, it was like paying, you know, having the gangsters come to your door and say, you got to pay insurance for us not to burn your house down. That's what it was feeling like. It's like we're being held captive by these people. And what really was getting to me is the way that they were going and taking people's homes away from them, like little old ladies and stuff. And this is still going on. And then kicking them in the streets and stuff. It's like, this is just makes me so mad. And I wanted to be a part of, like, you know, well, I'm not going to pay you. I'm not going to give you money to do this stuff. So I like pulled out of the little game that was going on with the, you know, pay your mortgage crap. But, you know, I think one of the big things is I thought that the universe would have given me my own home by now, in my own yard again, and Stella would have this thing, you know, her own little territory again. And I mean, she has a yard out here, but it's way off the street. And so there isn't as much interaction, which I do like that part. But it did give her, she loved, you know, people walking by, and she'd run out and bark at them. All the dogs that would go by, and she'd always run out and bark at them. It was like her big excitement. And so I feel like, you know, I've kind of robbed her of that to stand in my own integrity of I'm not going to pay these thieves in order to keep this place. And then plus it was, you know, I mean, it was eating at me about the flooding and all of the disasters and no evacuation, and the windstorms would freak me out because of trees. So there was a lot of things. But And then I did, by the time I left, I thought because I was doing the right thing, the universe was going to, you know, turn around and give me something back. And now it's gone on and on and on, even though, I mean, time is so, time isn't really relevant. It's all by how you see things. Like there's a different word, but I can't think of it. But it's like it's your own view of it. And because of, her being sick and stuff, then it makes me look at it different and thinking like, I mean, what if we're running out of time? I need a place that's her own so she can live her days out being happy like that, which I don't know. Maybe this is as happy as she can be. And so I don't know. My mind's just spinning around that. So it is making me feel like a lot of stuff coming up and thinking about it and going through it. And you always got to pull yourself back into forgiveness. You always got to pull yourself back into it's okay, and because you can't just leave yourself out there strung out and beat down. That's no way, I mean, that's part of the journey is to accept yourself. So anyways, now, yeah, I don't know what the whole peeing thing was. I don't know what, I just don't know. And now I keep thinking, is that why she keeps looking at me? Is that why she keeps whining more? Is she just getting super confused? And this morning she wanted more medicine, so I gave her more medicine. So she's kind of snoozing hard right now. But she was not being comfortable. And so, anyways, I just don't know. But yeah, I wished I had it was such a great spot for her. And so I was hoping to have something like that, only better. You know what I mean? Because they always say, like, whenever you lose something, you get something better. So I was always hoping, like, something better. But to me, I still feel like I'm very much in transition. I'm still in this state of, like, I don't know, kind of almost like, well, don't unpack your bags. This isn't your, I mean, I know it's not like my forever because I'm living in a little room in a shop. It's like, no, I know there's something more to come. But anyways, I just got to keep, making the best of every day and hope, that she isn't going to leave me. Because I'm going to be devastated. And I got to really walk myself through that, like, whole thing. Because it's going to be hard to lose her if that's going to be what happens. I'm always hoping that's not what happens. And I know as a soul that they'll come back. But I don't know. She's been such my partner in crime throughout this. Because I've been single this whole time. She's been my team. It's been me and her. And then there was Winston too. But he was like his own little thing. he did his own thing. And so then when he died, which I've still kicked my ass over, I wish I would have known more about the, like the horse pace and all that stuff then. I had no idea. And because it was right at the beginning of lockdown. And when they were, it was a whole thing. And I wasn't going to put him through all of their CHEMO because it's so brutal. And then even when they do it, so many it brings the passing. And then also it's shortly after. It's like, why am I going to put him through that when he's 12, And on her, I've done now once I started learning about all of these alternatives, and I have been doing everything possible and trying everything. And, but things are out of her control. So, but she's been my companion for all this time. And even when she was feeling lonely, because I also would find an outlet and, going online. And then she would just sit there and be like, well, this sucks. So, she was lonely. I knew she was lonely because she was always around more dogs. And so, anyways, that's why I wanted to get more around her. And then when I started fostering, My intention when I was fostering was to just find one that she would get along with really well. And then it was the first one that came was Max, and the two of them were a good team, and they get along really good. And then, but then they wanted me to foster more, and so then I fostered, and Morty came, and that traumatized me because then he died, and he was old, and I was even going to adopt him because he was just this little old man, but then he died, and then they sent me Archie. And the thing about Archie was, I mean, he was adorable. He's like cute as can be. He's got such personality, but he, but he was kind of a little terror before, the real terror came. But um, but he was trying so hard. He was trying so hard to, I just couldn't let him be rejected again. And so they had said there was these people who wanted to adopt him, and I was like, well, I want to adopt him. I mean, I can't. He's bonded with my dogs. It's like I can't just send him away. That's gonna crush his spirit. He's tried so hard to please us all, and so he ended up being like, well, I gotta keep him. I can't just send. I just couldn't do it. And so then I had the three of them. And then as Stella has gotten older, then I kept being like, man, I just really want her. I want another guard dog. And I really want her to train him because I just love her and her personality. So then the whole thing came up about Ruthie. And I thought, oh, well, when something comes your direction, it obviously is for you, because I wasn't going out and trying to find this. It came to me. I was there visiting, and my niece was talking to me about it and the situation of now what happened. And she had these puppies now that this dog that she had rescued had, and she was kind of like stuck in this and she was trying to sell them and nobody was coming. So I was like, well, I want to have another guard dog. And because I was like, man, there's no way. I got these two pugs, but how are they going to protect me? They don't even have tough barks. They got these little barks. And so, and Max is total, like, he would run and hide. And Archie, he would take somebody on, but he could also just get kicked across the room. But so anyways, get Ruthie. And then yesterday we went for our evaluation up at the thing for her training. And the dogs, I know they were all jealous because they didn't get to go with her. And dogs don't know, like, whoa, where's she going? And they think, she's getting something special. And then she comes back in and she's excited to see them, but they're all in this kind of attitude like, oh, you think you got to go somewhere? Like you could just read the room in their attitude. So they're barking and barking at her. And she's trying to get through the crowd. And I'm trying to get him to go outside. And Archie, he gets himself so worked up. And so he's jumping up. He's always going on two legs all the time. He's like, he cracks me up. But so he's going up and barking at her. Well, it set her off. And she just suddenly attacks him. And so it wasn't as violent as the last time. But she was going. And he was screaming already. And she couldn't get a good hold on him. The way everything was, she couldn't get a good hold on him. And I was grabbing her by the nape of the neck and trying to pull her back. And it's like this focus. And, but I pulled her back enough that he got away. And I'm saying, go, go, go. And he's like coming back over to like bark at her some more. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. And I laid down on top of her. She was going crazy. She was just like, no, I want up and I'm going to go get him. And I was laying on her, trying to get her to calm down and to see, you're not the boss. You don't get to just go do whatever the fuck you want. And so she wiggles and gets up and she goes after him again. And so it was like so much drama. And then, so I get her back down again. I lay on top of her again. And I lay there and I keep saying something to her. I don't remember what I was saying. And there was lots of barking and stuff. And so then finally She, when she gets up again, then I hurry and I get the other two into the other room. But she was still trying to get over there, but I don't know if she was trying to get to him to try and um, sniff him and lick him, because I know that she's got a crush on him. That's the thing, is it's like, I think she's getting close to her going into heat. And so she was like, she's very interested in him. She acts like it's her boyfriend or something. And so I don't know what she was planning on doing, but I got them separated, got the little ones in there, and I had the other ones in here, and waited until everything calmed down. And then everything's fine. But see, like, I got to keep no toys in here, because she'll try and take the toy if somebody's got a toy. It's always, she wants what everybody else has. And then, and she'll attack. But anyways, so I messaged the trainer guy. And so the trainer, the guy who's coming to do the training is coming here next week. And so we're going to start here, and he's going to, I think, see how the dogs interact together and stuff. And then start trying to get her to listen or behave or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. But it's like, man, I got to be on top of her all the time. And they'll go outside and play. And it hasn't, and Archie's always squealing at her and standing on two legs. And like, I've done a bunch of videos because they do it all the time. And it's like, one part is like, how do you stop puppies from playing? And then, but she just gets set off or something. Oh, I kept looking, where is she? Because Max and Archie are laying on the bed right there. Stella's on her bed right there. And Ruthie's right here. I just ordered her a bigger bed. So her bigger bed's supposed to be coming this week. I think this weekend. Which I think what I'm going to do is, I was thinking I'm gonna talk to Crystal today. But I was thinking I want to maybe switch and start doing Wednesday and Saturday, and then maybe add on Monday, but for going live. So I'm going to check and see, because my dog training day is Thursday, and it was hectic yesterday to try and do all that stuff and then get live. And then I was like so uncomfortable. I was like my mind was spinning around. I couldn't. So I was like, man, I don't think I can add on all that stuff, especially like, anything can happen. So, so I think I'm gonna, and I was thinking Saturday might be a good day because some people aren't working, and Sunday definitely isn't. It's the last time I did Sunday, and David Wilcock does Sunday. And I think all the people who are looking for somebody to watch live, they all go over there and listen to him. And I think I'm going to start coming up with something to talk about. Like yesterday, I was trying to keep up with the conversation, but then I'm like, have times where it's like a lull, and I'm trying, because before there's like a conversation, this is how it feels like there's a conversation going, and I'm just sitting here talking to myself like some kook. And so then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to try and be more interactive with the conversation. But then and maybe it's different each time, but there was like these lulls and stuff. And so, and it's like there's a slowness between me talking and the answer coming back. And so, anyways, I think I'm going to make a different plan for the next time. This is like trying to feel out like what to do on these live things. But, so anyways, but I think, yeah, I'm going to talk to Crystal still. And so I don't know that I'm going to do tomorrow. I may just stretch it out till Saturday. And then next week, start something different. Either Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Saturday. So anyways, but I'll talk to her because, she has a family and a schedule and stuff going on. So anyways, I'll check. And tomorrow morning, I should be able to say, what I'm going to do. Like I might just post it. I've been trying to post when I'm going to go live again. And I don't even know if anybody can see it. You may have to go on my page and look at the post or something. I'm not even sure. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out this whole thing. They're always sending me things like, now that I'm in this program, the monetized program or whatever, they're always sending me information about, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. There's just, that's a lot too. And so, and a lot of the stuff I've been doing, it's like, so anyways, so Ruthless, she's like going crazy yesterday, which just kind of stresses me out. I got to be on top of her. And then, I definitely don't want her to hurt Archie. I really got a place in my heart for that little guy. I love him. He's so funny. And then I got Max doing whatever the weird thing is going on, and he won't let me near his teeth. And then I sit there thinking about, going back up there to the vet. But then it's like everything, they're, especially with teeth things, they want to put them to put them to sleep. And then I think a lot of them, you have to go to specialty ones. You can't just go to any one and they're all going to mess with teeth. And so, and I don't know what is going on. But one thing I'm always thinking is like, dogs on their own, they, like, I don't know that they were created for us to fix. They have like the same as us. It's like they convinced us that we need to go to the white coats to be fixed, but really we have our own system that knows how to fix itself. And so, just trying to take care of him and stuff like that. But there's whatever's going on with his eating. It's like he's chewing weird and it gets all foamy and he's just got food flying out everywhere, flying on the walls. It's like, oh my God, it's such a mess. And then he walks around like he's 90. So I don't know if he's got a bad tooth, which speaking of teeth, let's look at mine. I've been looking at it and looking at it. And so it seems that it is, like, it seems like it has like a dip. And so towards the back right here, it seems like it goes further back, but it definitely seems like it just keeps going more healed and more healed. So, and that makes me think like, well, his would do the same thing, whatever's going on with his tooth. And it doesn't seem like it would be, no, we'll take him up there, knock him out, start traumatically pulling him out or something, because that's not going to help his chewing either. If he's like has no teeth, he's still going to be messy. So anyways, and he won't let me look in there. I tried to look on the side, but he's so standoffish about everything. I don't know if his original owners were really like hit him all the time or something. I don't know what his deal is. If they hurt him, I'm not sure. And then Stella, like she's got whatever, all these different little things going on. And now on top of it, if she's going to have dementia. But I think I'm definitely going to get some more of the horse paste because my aunt has, so many people have this brain fog, dementia situation. And I'm always, well, I see certain white coats say that you need to cleanse and detoxify and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do that because I'm always saying about my aunt, well, they need to do this, they need to do this, they got to try this and see if it doesn't get better. So yeah, I think I'm gonna order some of that stuff, even though you can go here and buy it now, I guess, over the counter for humans. But I think it's gonna probably not be cheap. And there's something else coming into my mind. But that's like my day-to-day kind of life. And the thing is too about her is she is very much loves to eat. Like yesterday, and I'm always bitching because like yesterday, it was like every 2 hours. It was like, want to eat, want to eat, want to eat. Which, is that a part of, dementia? But she still enjoys eating. She still enjoys doing things. And so, I'm not going to take her out and, take her down. I know a lot of people would have already and then just blamed it on like, well, she's in pain, but she still has so much stuff that she enjoys doing. And she's, like I said, she's my companion. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, she's got the brain fog or whatever, with all of this stuff. then I am going to try that and see if that doesn't clear it up. Just keep trying different things. And then even if this vaginitis is more of a CA and CR thing, is of like the female business or whatever it is. I mean, her urine was perfect, so I would say it wouldn't be bladder or kidney. And it could just be, she just has smelly because of hormones too. And maybe I'm just being paranoid. But the but the but that would not, but in order, like, for a mastiff to do anything, even to do an MRI or anything, because they've tried to get me to do stuff, is it's thousands of dollars, because they want to put him to sleep. Every single thing, they want to put him to sleep. And then it's a big ordeal, and they have to go to adult or human MRI places and stuff. And so I don't even know, like, what an ultrasound would even show. I mean, I could go get them to do all these labs and do hormones and all that stuff, but it just is, I don't know. I mean, we all got to do what feels right to us, and it just doesn't seem, I feel like this whole VET thing is, it's like the same thing as the whole Western. It's like it's like an extension of that system. And so it's not always, I mean, it's way more about making money. It's way more about the bottom dollar, it's all about that to this system, this corporation. That's the only thing that they're looking for is profits. And so, and that's the thing too, is like, a lot of times I'll feel like, oh, well, I'm practicing. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing too. So, and then we give them a lot more of a trust than probably we should, because they're just practicing too. And they say it right in the thing. It's practicing. So, anyways, that's the dog situation. That's my daily situation. That's the things that I'm like going through. And, which the anxiety, like, it could be both, but it feels like, even though all that stuff, I mean, I know Stella always gives me like this anxious feeling, but I still feel like it's like this energy. And when I've seen so many different people talking about the stuff going on, and this one I just saw, she was definitely talking about, like, if you're having a lot of anxiety. So, and if it is that just giving you anxiety, or if it's bringing up things in your life that give you anxiety, but no matter what the things that get brought up, don't put them aside, don't ignore them, process through them. And it's like a ride. It's like you think this way, and then you start considering this, and then go here, and then you think about that, and it's just like this whole thing. It's like this ride. Even the thing of, like, well, I should have just stayed at the cabin. She was so happy there. What if she doesn't make it to the med beds? And then I'm drug her around all these places. And but then you start thinking about the other things. And so it's like you got to go through the whole loop to get yourself back to, okay, I made the decision that seemed right at the time. And yeah, I was hoping that the universe was not going to stretch this out so much. But that's the thing, is like, whatever is for you is already on its way. It's like, whenever it's going to get there, it's going to get there. But it's always on its way. It's not like you have to get up in the morning and decide, what do I want? I think I want this. So I want you to give me this. And it's like, because I think those things sometimes, and it's like, well, you already have what's coming to you is already coming to you. So it's not like you have to, because like this morning I was thinking, well, I just really need a camper. I really need a camper so I can go and start traveling around with the dogs and take them on trips and stuff. And then it was like this, loud voice of, how do you know you need a camper? And I was like, well, I guess I don't. I don't know what's coming. I don't know what the future is. I just gotta, ride it out and see. Maybe something better is coming. Maybe the hover cars are just around the corner, and we're gonna be able to zip around and get to places way quicker. Maybe a camper is going to just slow me down. Maybe it's way more of like I just need a van hover car and just zip, take the dogs over here, take the dogs over there. And so, that's the thing is like when you try and narrow it down, sometimes are you selling yourself short? Are you not asking for enough? Are you, and you just don't really know. Like none of us really know. Like things are supposed to start getting really good. And so we got to see. I'm really curious now because Donald just got to the DABOS and there's all this hullabaloo about, what he's going to say and stuff. So now I'm really kind of curious. Like, what is he going to say? What is this going to be all about? And I saw a whole bunch of news things that were live showing, he's on his way, he's going, this is happening, this is happening. And then now I'm seeing like a little turn for a lot of people. A lot of people are taking like a left turn now on this Sasha, which is kind of just funny because Stormy, Sasha. And then, but one is Riley, one is Daniels. But who knows if that, like if you put it in gematria, if it comes out the same number or something. And then also, Sasha has several names. And so now I've seen where people are like, well, there's no case, there's no files, no cases on this person. And they're just coming up with this story, but there's nothing to back it up. And they, in the whole way that the story was released is strange because why would it just be this podcast like thing that is going to report this? Why? Because one of the people is a recoverer of the system of having traffic problems and stuff, and they said it's very traumatic to start talking about that stuff, and it can bring up a lot of wounds, and it's way more of something where you talk about like with psychiatrist or more of a like in the like if it's a criminal thing, you wouldn't just be like going and just just releasing it like that. It'd be because she was saying all these other people, it was like this whole thing like where they had lawyers and stuff involved in this releasing this information. So yeah, I mean, I don't buy the story on this whole thing because I mean, to me it has been his mission, his platform has been to stop this situation. So if it was something that was going to be all about him and it was going to unravel, then why would he, that's the thing with the other side. This is unraveling their stories. And so they are the ones pushing back. No, leave it, leave it, leave it. And then they're trying to flip it. He's trying to hide it. He's trying to do this. But it's them that keeps trying to block it. And then they, release these random kind of theory, or not even theories, these random kind of like threats or something, which speaking of that is like, oh my god, I cannot believe like these people keep going to the next level. Now you have these people who are all going online like a public platform and planning crimes, and it's like I what is going on with you people? Like, do you understand? Like, you're doing this. And this one lady, she was oh my god, she was just going to town, and she was she was being stitched by somebody who has an MAGA hat on, and she looks like Rosie O'Donnell. And so he was, everything she was saying, he was responding to. So if she'd say something, he'd stitch it, going back and forth on this conversation. And she was being like, oh my God. And so much anger and stuff. And at one point she said, because 2/3 of the population want him gone. want him taken care of. And the guy was like, 2/3 of the population, lady, you gotta get your numbers straight, because that's who's on the other side. So no, you're in the minority side, and you're building up thinking that you are on the majority. But most of the people want this, and that's the thing too that is so strange, is like, because even on the live yesterday, and there's people in other countries, and they were saying, all of this invasion, because it's happening everywhere, and it's obviously been orchestrated. But and it was making me think about, like, I'm pretty sure it was Ireland where I saw and there was these people that have come from a different culture and treating women in a different way that is unacceptable to other cultures. And so, in this village, they went down and were like confronting these guys, telling them, get the hell out of here. And, and that's what's kind of strange here in our place in America, is because the people are trying to fight to keep them here, instead, wherever all these other places are telling people, go home, go back to your place, come in here and bring in, all of these things. But here, the people who are fighting to keep them. It's like, it's so strange. Are you fighting to keep him just because you think that's going against Donald, because Donald is the enemy of all things? It's like, it's so backward. But that's why things, when they flip, it's going to be really unsettling to a lot of people, because they're so backwards. And then, like, and so convincing themselves that they're on the right side and they're with the majority. It's like, you're not with the majority. The majority of people don't want corruption. The majority of people don't want criminals. The majority of people want peace, and they want to have, well, kind of like at this point in time, most people want to just have a good job where they can make money and have, security in their lives and be take care of their families and stuff. But but that's going to also kind of flip, because things are going to be like, people aren't going to be so focused on these jobs. Like, we're going to have, I think, a lot of things that keep our world or our cities or counties running, or however it's going to be, is a lot of AI. I think AI is going to step into a lot of the jobs, which that feels threatening to people who think that they need a job. But that's the thing, is like, when things flip, then people are going to see, like, no, you don't need to work that much. They were driving the cost up of things to try and keep us in a trap. So when things equal out and drop, which will happen, hopefully it does happen the 17th, is and things fall, then it's going to be very unsettling to people, because it's the world they know. But then once it equals out, once it gains like equilibrium and finds balance, then yeah, we're not going to have so much stuff that we have to pay. Like, when you think about the tribes, the original people, they weren't out there having to find a job. They just had to find some place to grow their food, find some place where they could get clean water, figure out what natural things were around their environment to build shelters. And then here we are being used to go to this whole other level. So, yeah, I mean, it's throughout history, it hasn't always been about jobs. But there has been, like, marketplaces, say, people making, like, weaving baskets, weaving blankets, creating things, art, jewelry, and then bringing it to other people to sell, to give them more money to, buy things that they want. Like, if they want some more blankets, or to trade people, or if they don't have chickens and they want eggs, so they go, weave a blanket and take it down, and then they go trade what they got for the blankets so that they can get some eggs, or trade blankets for eggs. So it's going to be like different, because it's going to go, I think, kind of more back to natural, even though there's going to be a lot of technology. But that's where the technology, the technocrat or whatever it's called, I would think that's what that's more about, is that the technology will be run by these uh, the people who understand the technology, because it's going to be it's like the world is going to have a lot of technology that we don't understand, but it's going to take care of itself, kind of like AI is going to do a lot of things, like even on making cars, like that in Detroit or whatever, where people thought, like, when they had it being done in Detroit, say, that all these people, like these cities or these areas, that all these guys would have these good jobs working for this big corporation making cars, and then whatever their whole purpose was to destroy all of us and keep us so dependent and raise prices on stuff. But they decided it was better for the corporation that they could charge less if they moved over to a different place. And so it closed down all these different places where people had jobs. And so then, and this is a lot of different things, not just car manufacturers, a lot of things. And so then the people didn't have jobs, and it started causing destruction in communities, and stress, drug problems, homelessness. It's like, they create these things, and then selling us and marketing to us that was going to be better for us if they did this. And so then this, the whole thing with the TARRIFs and saying, we're going to charge more if you want to sell your. So then they start saying, okay, we'll move back. And but the thing is once they go back, it's like, well, we don't need humans to do this job, really. We need this can be all done with AI. And so and then it's gonna probably go through a whole thing. Well, like, that's not fair. We deserve the jobs. Why would computers get the jobs? But however it goes down and leads to, it's like then people eventually will see, like, no, this is better. And not have to go to work all day. We get to go out and live our lives and experience and have fun and do things. And that's what we came here to do. We didn't come here to just run this world for these people and just be their workers. So the worker bees are their hive, and we're out here just, stressing ourselves out trying to keep their world running. And so it's gonna flip, because it's not in alignment to being able to live freely and be here, born with your birthright to experience this place. So anyways, but we'll see how it plays out, because there's probably going to be a whole thing where people are really upset, like, well, it's not fair, they're taking our jobs and stuff. But however we finally get, maybe it'll come first. Maybe the collapse will happen, and we'll start having to pick up the pieces, and right away the technology be released, and they'll be like, well, people don't need to go make this stuff. The computer knows what to do, and we'll just set it, and they print us out freaking hover cars and shit, and put up towers. Like, that would be something, I guess, but we already have a whole bunch of those everywhere. And so maybe it's going to be that it shifts for what maybe they're being used already. And so but they're being used by these other people who are harnessing and stealing that energy too. So I don't know. There's a lot to our truth to come out. There's a lot to a new world to be revealed underneath the world that we're trying to exist in. It's trying to suck the life out of everybody. So anyways, we just got to see how it rolls out. As telling now, RFK, he has decided he's taken on Gator. And he's going to, he's like, nope, this stupid ass bullshit with covering the sun, this is stopping. So people are all like, well, that's got some good news. Like, that's us moving forward. And I saw somebody yesterday who was talking about Donald was at his desk, and there was like, I don't know if it was for a press conference or what was going on, but they were like, look what's on the table in front of him. I keep trying to look, and it's like over in their space where you can't see very good. and they just show it so quick. I kept trying to see it and kept trying to see it, and so people in the comments were saying like a DINAR and different things where everybody was really excited about whatever it is. Like it's showing that we're about to start over, like things are about to make a big shift, which, I mean, it's definitely coming, and a lot of people who know it's coming, they're always looking for the signs and everybody's excited. And then you feel this pressure, this anxiety that's going on the planet. You feel all these things changing. And so I don't know how much of it is people being optimistic and hoping that this is it, but it's definitely coming. Is it going to be this whole thing with the DAVOS? Is it all going to go together? Are we going to finally have the failure of the system where we get to start, something different? So, and then the good thing too with that is the advances in the medical. Like, that's another thing. It's like once like this is this is like a archaic kind of system, and compared to what's coming, it's like it's hard to just go to these people and say, here, can you fix me? Here, can you fix? Well, yes, I'll just write you out this little thing right here and take it down, and so anyways, it's just like, I don't know, we just got to see how it all rolls out. That's the thing, is like it's already written. It's already what is what is going to be. And so, however, it's all about the timing. It's about how each thing fits together. And so, I don't know. We just got to see how it's all going to come together. But it is all coming together. And there is like a lot of intensity on the planet. And it is like these people are just losing their minds more and more and more and going darker and darker and darker. It's like, you got to really watch yourself. If you're just out there thinking like it's okay to just spread hate and then to try and create like, well, what you're going to do to hurt somebody, like this one lady, which she has a health spa like in Florida or something, and she's out there saying like, we need to find out where the ICE is, and then we need to go in and put some, skull and crossbones in there and make them sick. And she's talking like food poisoning, don't wash your hands, all this food poisoning and stuff like that. It's like, chick, do you realize that this already happened? Like, somebody already did this? Like, you're talking about committing a crime here. And which I think it was in Florida, which is weird because I thought this happened in Dallas. But this thing that I saw, I'm pretty sure it was talking about Florida. So maybe it's happening all over, with these people taunting the ICE and the different law enforcement and stuff like that. But so there was like a group of 20. I don't know if there was more, and these ones were the ones that got caught or whatever. So they just got sentenced and got their charges. I don't know if they were getting sentenced or getting their charges, but oh shit. Yeah, they're going all in on this fucking shit. Like, these people need to stop. Man, you're playing with fire at this point. Like, you gotta stop and think what you're fucking doing, because this is serious charges. And so, and 20 people just got, and like I said, I don't remember if it was they were just getting sentenced on these charges, or these charges are what they're being charged with. Which also, now on Timothy, now TMZ is reporting that, so he was being held for 5 days, no bail, and now they got to go before the judge, and the defense guy, he was just going through this whole thing of just tearing down all these charges, and that there's evidence or something that this is the parents trying to make these charges because they dropped these kids from the 3rd season, and that the parents are mad, and so they're trying to make these charges on him. So I don't know, who knows? I mean, he has other people that have made charges, so it's gonna, however it plays out, it's how it's supposed to play out. Yeah, it's why the thing is you don't want to just get too locked in on this stuff. It's just all over the place. Now, even with this Beckham thing, And now, Victoria, she's saying, she's a girl's girl and she loves, she would, but it's this girl who he married and she's a billionaire's kid. And now there's other people coming out and saying she's really spooky. His dad has said, well, you just got to be there when your kids are making mistakes. There's nothing you can do. And so people are like, well, because she has married below her status because her parents are billionaires. And I guess the Beckhams are not billionaires and they're millionaires or whatever, but they've got a lot of status. Like, we don't know who her dad is, but he probably owns fucking a lot of shit. But, and he paid for the wedding and stuff, I guess, apparently. But anyway, so the parents don't like her, is what now is being the thing. And now Brooklyn is being very upset with his parents for not liking his new wife and all of this weird stuff. So now he's roasting his, like, saying all this stuff about his parents online, which seems to be that the girl, the new wife, is trying to provoke this or promote it. And so it's like drama, 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 man. And and who was the other one? Because there was another one that was big drama going with somebody. I just saw it was popping into my head. So the Beckhams, the Buzzfield, but there was somebody else. Oh yeah, this one is weird because so this girl, she from far away, she is like got this very slender body. Like, she looks very model like, she's got this very slender body. And she's in high school, it seems. And so she apparently went into school and the teacher, with, like psycho, I think just one time a little, and then she went out and went down the hall or something, and then herself. But I don't think anybody is, I think they're all still, like, been fixed. And, so, people are like, what's going on with this situation? And so people have been looking into her, and then so sharing all her videos and stuff. And so now I've seen more of her videos. Like, she's like a TikTok person, and a lot of her videos were just her standing showing all of her cute outfits, and she'd have like the whole look, her hair, her outfit, and everything. And so she was very into the look thing. Then when you got up close, it's like she does her makeup really strange. Like, I don't know what she's doing with her makeup. Like, I don't know what she looked like without the makeup, but with the makeup, it's kind of like, man, that's kind of a strange look. I bet you look probably prettier if you just took off all that makeup and just looked more natural, because she's like trying to do all this light and dark. I don't know. It's strange. It's strange how she does her eyes and stuff. And so I don't know, what she would look like, but in her way that she's presenting herself is like a lot of strange makeup. And when you get up close to her, but then one of her videos, she was showing a rich girl's Christmas haul. And it's supposedly like her dad is like real super rich. I don't know if they're billionaire status or a millionaire or whatever, but supposedly she comes from this really rich family. And then on her Pinterest, her whole thing is about this wanting to have a relationship with a teacher. And she really is focused like on a movie called Palo Alto, which I was thinking, I swear to God, I saw that movie on it. I didn't remember. I'd have to go and look at it again. But that's what it's about. It's this relationship with a teacher and a student. And she's obsessed with this teacher-student relationship and wants one really bad. It's all over her Pinterest and stuff. So I don't know if she went and she started one with this teacher. She got upset because there's a lot of weird stuff. And then she went in and just, I don't even know, like all this stuff. There's just like so much weird stuff. And I think that is the biggest thing, is like there's so much weird stuff. Like, don't get too hung up in it. Like, don't become a part of the drama, you know. it's way more of just watching it go by. Like, don't invest yourself. Oh, Tim, he's guilty for sure. It was like, fuck, how do we know? How do we know about any of these things? As people were like going in on Melissa. And then there's this other weird thing too that's going viral. Is this is weird. This is so weird. It really gives me the creeps. So this woman, okay, she's got her story in the video. So the video is she comes up on this room, and her husband and her son that looks like he would be 18 to 24 years old. So he seems like it doesn't, I mean, he could be like 14 or 15, but he looks way too old for that. But so he's the dad and the son are under the covers in the bed. And as she comes walking up, you hear him say something, and people are saying that he's saying, you better take it all. And then people are even saying, like, you hear noises that are very, and so when the woman walks up and she starts saying, what are you guys doing? And she's like making fun, like, what are you grown men doing in a bed together or something like that? And she's thinking it's funny or something. And the dad starts saying this weird stuff, and I don't even remember. He starts saying, well, I'm trying to get his phone. You got to lay in bed with him to try and get his phone. And then the son keeps trying to hide. So the son keeps trying to hide under the blankets, like, where people are like, he's guilty about something. He's feeling really shameful, and he's trying to hide. And the dad's sitting here saying just weird shit. And so the woman shows this weird, strange video and then posts it. All of the stuff I've seen is all people talking about the video. So I haven't seen the original video. I've only seen all these clips and all these people talking about it and how it's so disturbing and stuff. But the woman has done a video now, and this is what is strange, because she says she can't believe people go so dark in their mind that they think that something's going on. She said that her and her husband were walking by her son's bedroom. Her son was like on his phone, like doing faces or something, like he was talking to a girl. And so they thought it would be funny if the dad went and jumped and tried to take his phone from him. And then, so that's what happened. And then she filmed it. It's like, well, then what is the whole thing of, like, you walking up and asking what they're doing? And why, if he's jumping on the bed trying to take the phone, why is he in the bed, in the covers? And so she may have taken the video down now, and it's just being shared everywhere. And that may be why, I haven't seen that, but I've seen her talking about, like, all these people now they're being harassed, they're being threatened. The people are saying they're going to call the FBI on them, all this stuff. So, yeah, I just, like, man, things just get weirder and weirder. But there's so much weird stuff out there, and there's so many people investing all of their heart and soul into some of this stuff. And it's just like, I really think, like, it's just gonna stand back and watch it all go, and just know and trust that it's gonna go the way it's supposed to go. And even people who are doing things that are wrong, it's like that's their problem, because they're not going to be able to go forward. Like, your energy is going to hold you back. And so it's not, they can't trick it. There's so many people who thinks like that they have to get revenge, they have to avenge these situations and stuff. Like, no, the universe does it all on its own. You don't need to do shit. I know there's a lot of stuff going on, out here for us all to witness and see. But the biggest thing is you got to just be like, well, I used to do this all the time. Like, somebody would do something and fuck me over, and I would be just like, well, I'm not going to go try and get even. It's like the universe, if something needs to go down, the universe will do it. Things will go back. They're either um, I'm, getting out of karma, or they are creating it for themselves, and they're going to put themselves in a mess. And so it's not for us to go in and handle. The universe has got it by the balls. So it's not something that we need to do or deal with. So it's way more, for our observation. Just think about all of the beings out there who observe. It's observation. It's about us, just watching and learning as things go on. And really, like, what is that called? Um, processing all of the different confirmation, processing all these different events, and in the process of like an acknowledgement, and like playing through and seeing, how what you think about the things, like, if this dad is doing this with his son, and then the wife's trying to say, like, no, we were both standing there, like, well, it's an awfully strange conversation. And how, if you had your phone out to do this, like, how is he in bed with him? And what, I mean, the whole thing is just strange. But when you're not there, you don't know. You don't know how it all played out. Like, so anyways, and then same with Timothy, like, you know like, maybe he's a perv, maybe he's not. And I mean, a lot of people just want to focus, like, on this whole thing with Sasha, which I did see a woman yesterday, but she's also, I think, believes uh, that person is, she's very, very upset because she's been either at hearings or reading all of these files. It seemed like she was, like, saying that she's going to hearings and listening to all this stuff, but that it's not just where people want to be like, it was just like, in these Jeffrey files and stuff like that. It's all this uh, traffic problems. She said these things, there is SNUFF, being filmed in May with little ones, which is basically what the drip is, the one with the HRC, with the frazzles. They, so, I mean, that for sure. I mean, that's a part of this fetishy dark web, is into, let's, you know, end it while we're in it. So, yeah. But, she said there's all this stuff being released, and this whole thing over there in Minnesota or whatever is all a distraction. So people don't pay attention to this, but people are so caught up in that drama. And then, like I said, it just seems so backwards. You're trying to protect the one, like, the whole thing is just so wacky. Everything is just wacky. So, anyways, it's best to just not get yourself all whacked out with all the wacky people, and just sit back and just watch it all play out in chaos and see how it all lands, and just keep on thinking, well, good stuff's going to come from it. There's something good up there. Something good's coming. And it really is. I mean, it's not just a fantasy that something good's coming. This really is the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. And so however it plays out, however it, goes, which there's another earthquake. I saw somebody in California, and she was in a store, and the earthquake happened, and she said everybody in the store started freaking out and running out to the parking lot. And so there keeps just being all this, unstable ground underneath us, and anything can happen. And we got this crazy ass weather that's about to go down, which is some people, these weather people, are saying that this is going to be so bad that it's going to knock down trees and power lines. There can be places that are not going to have power for like a month. And they said that already happened in Texas that one year when this happened, and it's coming again. And it's going to be this, it's supposed to be, I guess, all of this rain, and then there's going to be a deep freeze. And then over here, it's supposed to get really cold too. But so there's going to be rain and snow and freezing. And then it's supposed to be this polar Arctic cold freeze, and so, Amy, she said she went up to the store and I think she was like, it's already pretty empty. All the stores are getting pretty empty. So that's good that people are getting prepared. And I saw another guy at a store and he's like, everything's empty. So, I mean, that's good on one hand, is like people are getting prepared because that's the worst. Like, fuck, man, I'm a few years back seeing these people doing videos like, they weren't prepared at all. They had nothing. They had no food, nothing. There's no power. So, anyways, it is good for people to get prepared, and hopefully people will come together. If somebody doesn't have something, we got to get to the point of like us all beginning to come together and sharing and making the best of things. So, anyways, and I'm sure it will happen a little bit, and it'll just keep going until, we all come together and we're all there for each other. So, anyways, we'll see what more comes this week. I'm definitely going to try and see what, because I'm sure there's going to be stuff of this DOVOS, of his speech and stuff. And then, of course, the media will probably try and edit. So, probably the best thing is to try and see it as it's being spoken if you want the whole thing, because they will put what they want to, they'll edit it how they want it to sound. So, anyways, we'll see. Now we're halfway through the week and it seems like there's a lot of drama going already. So we'll see what more happens and see what happens today. So anyways, but we will talk about it tomorrow. I will see, I'll talk to Crystal and figure out like what we're going to do. But I'm thinking that Saturday is when we're going to go live again, not tomorrow. So probably Saturday, but we'll see. And I mean, if there's a bunch of big things going on or something spectacular happens, but there could be a lot of people who are not even going to have power. But if something like really crazy, then I will just automatically. Like if you start seeing like really wacky shit happen, like the volcano or the earthquake or something in California, and this big thing happening, or over in by the Mississippi, whatever, I will go live on some huge situation that happens so that we can all be around each other talking about what's happening. So I will do that automatically. So, but for scheduling, for just like regular scheduling, I think I probably won't be there till Saturday. And then we'll do it around lunchtime again. Well, lunchtime in America. And then, but, the best way to handle all of this stuff is to focus on you and healing you, and all the things that come up is to help you maneuver you, to help you figure out you and how you feel about this and how you feel about that. So continue to maneuver through all of the garbage, all of the chaos, to get to the point of, you surfacing, like finding yourself. And through all of the different things, you definitely got to learn to love yourself. It's like what I'm going through, like kicking my ass, like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, and you have to walk yourself through it, forgive yourself, and, you only know what you know at the time. You can't do things before you know them. You're here to learn them. You're here to experience what it is to not know everything, to go through it blindly. So, and then you got to let go of your opinion of yourself, being mean to yourself. You got to let go of that, and you got to learn how to love yourself. You got to learn how to love everybody. That's a big part. If you want to go forward to a loving world, you got to learn how to love everybody. And then you got to learn how to, be able to zoom in and zoom out on this stuff. You got to learn to have the day that you want to have. Don't let all this stuff bring you down. You got to find yourself through all of the mess. So anyways, but we'll see how this day goes, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.